Hey guys, I hope you all had a good holiday. Today I am going to be going over my Blue Eyes deck for the new format, the January 2014 ban list, and taking some ideas I've seen from other decks, and this deck's testing very well. I've had a Blue Eyes deck for a long time. I've been constantly updating it, but I haven't really made a video for it for a long time, so wanted to make a new one for the new format and kind of show you guys what's going on and how it works. So first off, we have Hieratic Dragon of Nuit. The Hieratic Dragons in general work really well with the Blue Eyes archetype, and this card in particular, if you have cards that will support it, it can work really well. On top of its effect, obviously 1700 attack is pretty nice. Whitestone of Legend, obviously in a Blue Eyes deck, great card, allowing you to get that Blue Eyes to your hand, so it's not sitting around in the deck. And obviously a 1-star tuner that you'll be able to use. A lot of tuners in this deck, and you'll make use of a lot of them. Maiden with the Eyes of Blue, also very nice card. Obviously very annoying for your opponent to deal with. Able to stall and able to allow you to kind of bring out your Blue Eyes and bring out those 9-star synchros as well. So very nice. And then obviously Blue Eyes White Dragon. Make sure you pick the artwork you like the best. There's a lot. There's like 7 different artworks for this one. Or just use 3 different ones if you want, but running 3 copies, obviously, in a Blue Eyes deck makes a lot of sense. But if you have more support and you're not relying on having 3, you can run 2, depending on how, your deck works out. You might have more powerful dragons in this deck. So Bright Star Dragon, another beater that's actually really good. So this gives you access to a few different things. It gives you access to different levels of synchros, it gives you access to a 1900 beater, gives you access to 4-star XYZs, and also gives you access to a targeting effect. And a targeting effect gives you a free Blue Eyes when you have Hieratic Dragon out, so that can be very nice. A lot of different combinations you could do with that. We also have some of the normal dragon tuners, which are very nice in this deck, Flamvell Guard and Galaxy Serpent. Again, giving you access to more synchros, and because they're normal dragons, they benefit from the same cards that benefit Blue Eyes, so even if you have them in the graveyard or something like that, you could still use them. Obviously, in a dragon deck, this card's always ridiculously overpowered, so why not use it, giving you access to a powerful monster on top of an insane effect that will, allow you to bring out 2 powerful monsters at once. Silver's Cry, obviously a card that was designed for this archetype, so just giving you quick access to Blue Eyes, and I love that it's a quick spell on top of that. So, Cards of Consonance and Trade-In. So, these do 2 things. They allow you to have draw power, and they allow you to fill up the graveyard for what you need to do, which is very useful. Some decks run more of these, and that's definitely an option. But it's up to you. MST, Forbidden Lance. So Forbidden Lance, obviously a great card in a lot of different decks, but in this deck you can also use it for Hieratic Dragon, which is very useful. So Wingbeat of a Giant Dragon. So this is an interesting one. I've been debating this one. It's nice to have something these days that can wipe the field of spells and traps, because you're not able to run Heavy Storm. So it can be pretty useful, and with the ability to bring out your monsters so often, it can be pretty nice. The one thing to consider is that with Bright Star Dragon, you can increase the levels of some other monsters, so you can increase the level of Hieratic Dragon of Nuit, and then activate that, and if you have other effects, you can, bring in another Blue Eyes and do 8-star XYZs, and on top of that, already having the field wiped of spells and traps. So there's different uses you can use for it. Again, this one's still a debate for me, but in certain situations, I find it very useful. Forbidden Chalice can also be very useful, obviously to negate effects that you need. And then Book of Moon and Dark Hole. Not much to say there. Bunch of stable traps. Not a lot of room for traps in this deck. You can run less traps, you can run no traps. Currently I'm running a few. I'm also running Trap Stun. Because you're bringing out so very powerful monsters, it's nice to have something like this that will, kind of clear the way for what you need to do, kind of like Wingbeat. Also, this card's very interesting, Castle of Dragon Souls. So this one has a bunch of different applications, obviously making your monsters stronger and kind of protecting them, also targeting monsters, which you know, from Hieratic Dragon. That's another thing you could do. And also, you can get this card destroyed to special summon the banished dragons, which is very useful. You'll be banishing cards and you won't really have to worry about it because you'll be able to bring them back. And you know, you have effects that will destroy this anyway. So very useful card. Can definitely consider running it more. It's a card I'm still playing around with because it's really interesting, but yeah, really fun to use. So for the extra deck, this is one of those decks where you're going to want to have a huge variety of levels. You have to really consider, you have 1 and 2 star tuners, you have a card that increases level, you have 8-star monsters, you really have a huge variety. There's a bunch of different things you could do. So Catastor, obviously for 5-star. Armades, really nice to keep your opponent from, you know, activating those traps. Again, with traps done, might be a little bit of overkill, but still very useful. Iron Chain Dragon, a very useful one to have. Also, Black Rose, Stardust, Scrap Dragon, you know, usual players in here that I like. Azure-Eyes, Silver Dragon, obviously meant for this archetype, a very nice card. Allowing you to protect your monsters, also allowing you to special summon monsters, which can be very useful. And then Star Eater, because you have these high levels, you can get this guy out pretty easily. So again, another thing that will keep your opponent from you really using traps against you, which is really nice. For the XYZ, Daigusto Emeral is really, really nice for this deck. Obviously, you're able to summon Blue Eyes very easily. Starliege, because you have 4-star light monsters, always a great card, you know. Maestroke, one of my personal favorites. The one other 4-star that I got a choice to really put in that fit into more other decks that it's really up to you. You know, Maestroke, you want to put in, or Utopia or Black Ship. There's a bunch of other 4-stars you can use. I find Maestroke to be very useful in certain situations. And then for the 8-stars, I have Felgrand, Hieratic Sun Dragon, and Thunder End Dragon. Thunder End Dragon's very, very useful, so very nice card to have. So for the side deck, again, if you haven't seen my videos before, a side deck is not an actual side deck. It's just other suggestion cards that can work in this deck type. So first off, Totem Dragon. I had this in my other Blue Eyes deck. Very useful card, and if you're putting it in the graveyard, it can be very easy to bring out and get those dragons that you need. Depends on how your deck is running. Kaiba Man is obviously a choice for summoning Blue Eyes, bit slow, but it's there. Vanguard of the Dragon is a really interesting card. Your opponent is going to have to destroy it by battle, or else they'll have to deal with you're summoning another dragon, and also obviously he can gain attack pretty easily. Dark Flare Dragon, if you're running more of a light and dark kind of mixture deck, this can be really nice. And also it's an easy way to put cards like Totem Dragon or Blue Eyes in the graveyard. Light and Darkness Dragon, if you're running a dragon deck that focuses more on tributes, this is an easy choice because you can lock down your opponent. Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, if you're running Ultimate, always an interesting card to use that can annoy your opponent. Freed the Brave Wanderer, if you're running, you know, full light cards, and you don't mind, you know, banishing them to destroy some of the more powerful monsters you're dealing with, can be an interesting choice. Five-Headed Dragon, also along with Blue Eyes Ultimate, if you're running like Dragon's Mirror, these are very powerful cards that you can get out later. If you're running cards like this, Megamorph is very useful to go for those one-turn kills. Burst Stream of Destruction, obviously with a Blue Eyes, allowing you to wipe their field. The thing is, not being able to attack is pretty annoying, and also you could do the same thing with Thunder and Dragon. Again, Dragon's Mirror, like I just said, for these guys. If you're able to get 3 Blue Eyes out through whatever means you're using, if you use Delta Attacker and Treaty, you can wipe their field pretty much and guarantee a win, which is pretty amazing. So that's one of the combos you can do, but that's, you know, you really need a super focused special summoning deck to do that, and it's a tough combo to pull off. Again, if you're running less traps or no traps at all, Royal Decree is always a good choice. Then again, you're going for these big, you know, damage kills, so it depends. Trap Stun might be better in those situations. So overall, that's my Blue Eyes deck. Again, I've been looking at other decks, and I've been seeing some really interesting stuff people have been doing. This deck in particular, you can do a lot of different combos with it. There's a lot of choices you have, and it's not fully focused on just getting out the Blue Eyes, which is good and bad. You know, I like decks that focus on their main, you know, card, which is supposed to be a Blue Eyes deck, but it really uses the Blue Eyes deck, the Blue Eyes card, I mean, to its fullest potential because of all the options you can use with it. So it really gives you some ability to compete, even though you're using, you know, a card that's been around forever, which is really cool. And I like, you know, these new strategies that people are coming up with. But if you have your own Blue Eyes deck, you know, there's a lot of different support for it nowadays and a lot of different things you can do with it. Post below, let me know in the comments, tell me what you guys think of mine, give me suggestions, all that good stuff. If you like this video, you can subscribe or hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more decks from me, you can check the playlist in the description. It'll have a list of every single deck I've made so far, even my kind of crappy Blue Eyes deck I made a long time ago. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. You can see my Twitter there. You can see my Skype, my Dueling Network profile, all that stuff in the description. If you want to talk to me, tweet me, contact me, duel me, anything like that. But I think that's about it for me, guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you later.